Hello and welcome to another morning briefing presented by Stein Investments. Before we dive into today's market analysis, I want to take a moment to thank all of you for the amazing feedback on the morning briefing videos. After our request on the last morning briefing video on Friday, I received so many detailed messages, long text with suggestions, with positive feedback. It was simply amazing, and I was really happy to have such a wonderful audience that is interested to work with me and to provide all of you the content you desire. That said, I'm moving forward with at least 4 videos a week, if that's possible, but with a more flexible approach. Morning briefings will come when there are strong market trends to analyze, and if not, I prefer to do topic-specific videos focusing on key trading concept or strategies or specific topics like frequently asked questions that I want to answer in video tutorials. In this way, I can deliver all of you the most relevant content in a very high quality and still have the time to do my other tasks I have to do to run this business. In fact, I've already started implementing your requests with the IX Power Easy Scalping video I published yesterday, and more of these short educational clips will follow soon. Now let's jump into today's market breakdown. The only interesting volume trend we currently see is a drop in Swiss franc positions, which caused a rise of the Swiss net long volume by almost 10% and more during the past hour. But you can also see that the entire market volume is currently reducing, maybe due to some news that will come later today or the next days. In the next step, we'll check the economic calendar, which is also extremely important before taking any trades, and so I'll implement this in the morning briefing video from now on as well. Another question that arose yesterday from a customer was why I use an 8-hour analysis here in this volume power overview, and the simple reason is that this 8-hour time span covers, as it says, the last 8 hours. And if I start my trading day during the London opening, I'm interested in what happened during the Asian session. And the easiest way to cover this is to analyze the past 8 hours. And then I get an information like this. As we can see, the New Zealand dollar is pretty weak for several hours now. And there is currently no volume trend covering this, so this is probably not of interest for the market right now. But this 8 hours analysis helps me to determine if there are any pure price-based trends appearing during the past 8 hours. And so I incorporated this 8 hours overview here in line with the volume information. Let's move on with the economic calendar here from Forex Factory, which I use to check almost daily to see if there is any important news event inside I need to consider before taking a trade. And for yesterday, we can see there has been a bank holiday in Canada and in the USA, and this explains why there has been so low volatility during our afternoon trading session. And this information about the bank holiday in the US is also important because in New York the trading week starts this afternoon, and so I expect a higher volatility during today's New York opening, and we need to be careful about that because the start of the week is always a very volatile one, and so just be careful around the New York opening today. We can also see that during the Asian session, the Royal Bank of Australia cut the rates as expected, causing surely some volatility on the Aussie dollar pairs. Then we had a news event for the British pound already, and the next one is right around the corner. And last but not least, we have the consumer price index for the Canadians, which is especially interesting if you are trading the Canadian dollar. We spoke about the impact of these inflation numbers last week, covering the US CPI, and today we'll see how the Canadian dollar will react on the numbers published in a few hours. Moving on with our currency overview, we get a mixed picture on most currencies, like the Japanese yen and the Swiss franc, which jumped from one side to the other during the past 4 hours. The Aussie dollar is pretty strong, currently weakening a bit, so it has no dynamic to move on further to the upside. The New Zealand dollar is undecided, long-term trend is neutral with some downside dynamic, as we've already seen in the 8 hours overview. And the Canadian dollar is also split, US dollar is also split. British pound is more on the strong side, but the news event affecting the British pound is currently ongoing, and you can see it caused a pretty dynamic move to this downside. So I would prefer to wait until the news event has passed, and then we might see the British pound going back to the strong side of the scale and continuing its uptrend. Last but not least, we have the euro, which is pretty weak, but also moving to the opposite side, currently ranging at a neutral scale. So you can see it's pretty hard to find a good combination of trading pairs, because none of these currencies are currently moving with some good dynamic in the direction of their long-term trend. Last but not least, our non-forex analysis, starting with the Bitcoin, and from now on I will purely scan on easy scalping strategy setup, and if there is any, I'll explain how and why, and if not, we just switch to the next symbol. If you want to know more about IX Power and the easy scalping strategy we developed for it, I suggest checking the IX Power product page, where we embedded the corresponding tutorial video, or browse through the tutorials we present in our YouTube channel and you'll get all the details. Right now there is no setup for the Bitcoin, but we can see the 4 hours trend is moving to the opposite extreme side. So whenever this goes back down and peaks through the zero neutral level here, we have a valid setup, and then I would pick a short trade here on the Bitcoin to the downside. The situation on oil is different because we have a neutral long-term trend, and so there is no clear direction to trade, and so we can drop this quickly. US dollar showing a different picture. Long-term trend is still on the buy side, but mid and short term are both on the weak side, so this doesn't qualify for an easy scalping strategy at all. Here you see on the left side a valid setup for the easy scalping strategy, because long and midterm trends have both been on the strong side. The short term peaked to the downside here and came back, and you would have gotten the entry signal here. Then you can place your stop loss right above here, and you can ride along all the way up here. In this screen you can see this is a valid easy strategy setup. This is another one with both mid and long term on the buy side, and the short term that peaks through the zero line going upwards. This is no valid setup because the midterm is on the opposite side of the long term. It would have worked anyway, but this, according to our rules, is no ideal easy scalping setup. So I wouldn't have taken it because I prefer to see the mid and the long-term trend on one side, which is here not the case, and the same issue is here. And so the Dow Jones doesn't qualify for any further easy scalping setups right now, or at least for today. Moving on to the DAX, we had a valid easy scalping setup here during the pre-market, which spiked to the upside but dropped extremely fast when the market opened, as you can see here. Right now, the midterm trend is still on the positive side, even if it's close to the neutral level. So once the short term comes back and keeps the midterm trend on the positive side as well, we get a valid easy scalping setup and can trade it with a stop loss right below here. So the German DAX is worth to be monitored, and for all those who trade this, I wish you all the best. Once more, I have been talking longer than expected here, especially on this part. Even if I announced I do it shorter, but you get the idea. In the future, I will just check the non-forex pairs for valid strategy setups, and if not, we can finish this task quickly. I hope you like the ideas we developed based on the feedback we got from you, and you are always welcome to share your ideas and your opinion with us, either directly below our videos or via private message on MQL or on Telegram. You will find all the contact details as well as all the other stuff like strategies, templates, indicators, and what else directly on our Stein Investments page. Thanks for watching. See you and bye bye.